Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. A rebound relationship can distract the mind. It also can help you regulate the nervous system temporarily. But in today's video, I'm gonna tell you 5 things that the rebound relationship can hide forever. Man, it's a heat wave out here today. It's 15 degrees and I'm over this frozen river of ours. Thank you guys for being here, stopping by the Rebound Journal again. The first thing that they can hide is the lack of emotional intimacy. When people get into these type of dynamics, in the beginning, they feel like everything is just so intense. Everything feels so amazing. You know, food tastes better. The movies are more entertaining. The trips that they take make better memories. But after a while, they start to realize that those relationships aren't really that deep. They don't really feel as intense as what they had with you. The rebound can't hide that for too long. It becomes overly apparent when they start to be with these people for longer than 2 or 3 months, that this isn't something that's going to form into something that's really healthy or something that's going to last, go the distance. They start to feel an emotional emptiness within that relationship. The second thing that they start to see, right away when they get these rose-colored glasses off, they start to see this person's avoidant patterns, right? Or even their own avoidant patterns that come out in their relationship. If you're coming to my videos and you know that I specialize in attachment style theory, this is a much different channel, but every so often I'll try to sprinkle in some of these little nuggets of attachment style theory for you guys. When an avoidant gets into a rebound relationship, their patterns become apparent very quickly once they start to get rid of this shiny new object syndrome that they're going through. Once they start to have to be flexible and make compromises for this person and actually talk about what's really going to happen as far as the longevity of the relationship, taking it to the next stage, if that's what the other person wants, they can't hide that from them. That's when you start to hear them say things like, I'm not really looking for anything serious, or I just got out of another long relationship. I'm not really looking for, something that's going to be committal. In those rebound relationships, they don't genuinely change. They just shift seats like they're playing musical chairs with people's heart, right? And that's something that people can't really tolerate for too long, especially with someone who has some type of self-respect and some dignity, and I feel like they can bring a lot, they have a lot to bring to a relationship. They're not going to tolerate someone messing around and not having a real game plan on what the future is going to look like. The third thing that you'll see in those relationships is they start comparing them to their ex. If your person is the person that rebounded to someone else, you don't for 1 minute want to believe that they're completely over you, or that, they're not subconsciously comparing all the positive things, the healthy things that you did in that relationship to this new person. They usually have big shoes to fill when they get into a relationship with someone like your ex, who is just quickly trying to get over you. The fourth thing that can't be hidden is your ex's need to escape that relationship. If they did it to you, they'll probably do it to someone else, if they haven't had any type of therapy or counseling to understand their patterns. A lot of people don't know who they are and why they do some of the things that they do. If this is someone that that pattern that your ex tends to have, at some point, they're going to want to escape that dynamic as well. And how they do that is they'll keep the person at arm's length, or they'll keep open communication with you just so they can get a little bit of emotional validation and a little bit of hit of newness and excitement, variety. When things are non-committal, it feels easy, it feels free-flowing. There's a lot of newness and excitement around that time. But when familiarity kicks in and expectations, then there's going to be some problems, right? There's going to be either one or the other person's going to start wondering, what are we doing here? All right, so I understand you were in a relationship before, and we agreed in the beginning that this was just going to be kind of, getting to know each other. After a while, one of those people are going to change the terms of the relationship. Now, I can't be certain about that, but I've been doing this for so long that I've seen pretty much a lot of stories. I've coached over 1,000 people internationally. So I'm talking about different cultures, backgrounds, social dynamics, financial dynamics, all across the board. Then they all pretty much have the same issues, all around. Which leads me to the fifth thing, is what I like to call familiarity complex. What that is for me is, you ever heard the saying, familiarity breeds contempt? It's exactly that. At some point, when they get to know this person better, the newness wears off. The mystery about this person becomes no longer mystery. You know, if you're someone who's dating someone that's, all right, let's say you're an Instagram model, or they were an Instagram model, and you just wanted to be around that person, you want to learn a lot about them, learn who they are, what their schedules look like, what their income looks like. After a while, they're going to realize that this person isn't as glamorous or perfect as what they thought that they were. And when that happened, they started to think, or especially avoidance, that, all right, I think I might have got duped. This person tried to make it seem like they had XYZ, they were this type of person, but in reality, they're really not. They were pretending to be someone who was intelligent and caring. Now that I know them intimately, I'm starting to see that that's not the case. So that's what I call familiarity complex. And if you found this video valuable, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and feel free to like it and share it if you feel like it'll help someone. And I want to thank you guys for always coming by the channel and watching the Rebound Journal, sticking with me out in this freezing, blistering weather. And I will see you in the next video.